When Nurse Gloria offered help to an injured wanderer on the street, she never imagined he would become the father of her child. Upon revealing her pregnancy to her colleagues, Gloria faces mockery for expecting a child from a homeless man. However, she will soon discover that there is much more to this man's story than she ever imagined. Hello, my friends. I am Linda, and this is Linda's Love Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. At the end of a long day, Gloria was eager for a well-deserved rest. The exhaustion from her shift as a nurse in a busy hospital weighed heavily on her, and the bed seemed like an oasis of tranquility. But fate had other plans for that night. As she prepared to dive into restorative sleep, a piercing noise followed by a scream of pain echoed from the street. Instinctively, Gloria got up and approached the window, curious and a bit apprehensive. Cautiously, she peeked through the curtains, encountering a scene that made her shudder. A man, his head covered in blood, struggled to get up from the ground. As she watched in astonishment, she managed to glimpse the figures of the attackers disappearing into the streets. Although the most sensible decision was to call for help, Gloria's nurse instinct spoke louder, drowning out any thoughts of impending danger. Driven by an impulse, she rushed out to the street towards the injured man. He was visibly dazed by the blow he had just received, but Gloria made him sit on the sidewalk. With skilled and calm hands and her first aid kit, she started to staunch the blood that insisted on flowing from the cut on his head. "What is your name? I'll call the police and an ambulance to take you to the hospital," she said, trying to calm the assaulted man. No, don't call anyone. I'm fine. I don't need to go to the hospital," he responded, trying to get up but soon falling again, staggering. Gloria realized that this man didn't want to be identified, but something inside her, an instinct perhaps, a soft voice of compassion, told her she should help him. Ignoring the sensible warnings echoing in her mind, she decided to act. She helped the man to stand and led him to a small room at the back of her house, a space she used to rent out but was vacant at the moment. There was a bathroom and a bed, and Gloria provided some clean clothes and something to eat. "You can stay here tonight to recover," she offered, with a gentle and welcoming tone. That night, Gloria struggled to find sleep, tormented by doubts about her decision to take in that stranger. Although the houses were separated, he knew she was alone. Could he be a fugitive from the police? These questions echoed in her mind as she tossed and turned in bed. In the morning, the young nurse was awakened by a noise coming from the yard. Her heart raced momentarily, fearing the worst. But when she peeked out the window, she saw a scene that surprised her. The man was there, mowing the lawn and removing the weeds that had overtaken what was once a beautiful garden. An involuntary smile appeared on Gloria's lips, mixed with a feeling of relief and gratitude. Maybe her nightly worries were unfounded. Maybe that man wasn't a danger, but someone who needed help. "Good morning, miss. I don't think I introduced myself yesterday. My name is Gabriel," said the man with a kind smile. "I have to thank you for your help last night. That group of thugs attacked me to steal my cell phone." "Nice to meet you, Gabriel. I'm glad you're feeling better," Gloria replied, returning the smile. "But you don't have to worry about tidying up the garden." Gabriel nodded, grateful. "It's the least I can do in return for your kindness. And besides, I've always enjoyed working with plants," he said, resuming his work in the garden with an air of serenity. Gloria and Gabriel then reached an agreement. In the coming days, he would work in the garden in exchange for the rent of the small room at the back of the house. While she was on her shift at the hospital, the young nurse shared the story with her colleagues, mentioning that she had offered shelter to a stranger. Instead of support, she was met with criticism and concerns. Her colleagues warned her, saying she was acting recklessly and that he could be dangerous. But despite the voices of caution around her, Gloria couldn't see Gabriel through those eyes. There was something about him that conveyed trust. After Gabriel finished the work in Gloria's garden, her neighbours also began to rely on the services of that mysterious young man. With the payment he received, he managed to cover the rent for the small room at the back of Gloria's house. As the days went by, Gabriel became a known figure in the neighbourhood. Every time Gloria came home from work, she and Gabriel shared a meal and talked endlessly. However, there was one topic the man refused to address: his past life. He only mentioned that in the past 2 years he had lived on the streets, and any attempt to probe further was met with a subtle but impenetrable barrier. As the friendship between Gloria and Gabriel strengthened, a mutual feeling began to blossom between the two young people. Gabriel revealed himself to be not only a hard-working man but also interesting and intelligent. His conversation flowed naturally, punctuated by intriguing stories that revealed a past rich in experiences and learnings. Despite the growing closeness, Gloria found herself torn by her own feelings. The veil of mystery shrouding Gabriel's past cast shadows of uncertainty on the future. The lack of knowledge about who he truly was and what had brought him there fueled her doubts and fears, preventing her from diving headfirst into this new chapter of her life. One day, Gabriel decided to open his heart to Gloria and declare his feelings for her. The young woman, though moved, could not avoid expressing her concerns. "Gabriel, I feel the same way about you, but I am worried about what you left behind. Tell me the truth. Are you married, or are you a fugitive from the police?" The young man couldn't contain his laughter at Gloria's sincerity. "Ah, Gloria, I assure you my past is much less exciting than you imagine," he responded, smiling gently. "I swear none of that is true. It is just a chapter I want to leave behind." Gloria decided to trust Gabriel, choosing to believe his words and move forward with their relationship. Despite being deeply in love, she chose to keep their relationship a secret at work, fearing the judgment of colleagues for being involved with a homeless man she had taken into her home. Months passed, and unexpected news brought a new challenge for the couple. Gloria discovered she was pregnant. Afraid of how Gabriel would react to the news, she held her breath while sharing the news with him. To her surprise and relief, Gabriel not only received the news with joy but embraced it with all the strength of his heart. "My love, what wonderful news! A child, our child," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with happiness. "I couldn't be happier." As Gloria's belly grew, speculations about her pregnancy intensified at the hospital where she worked. Curious colleagues sought answers, wanting to know who the father of the child she was expecting was. The young nurse felt the weight of expectations and inquisitive glances upon her. However, Gloria realized that it was time to face the truth. She should not feel ashamed of the man who would be the father of her child. As Gloria shared the story of her relationship with her colleagues, their gazes were of incredulity and disdain, and laughter escaped from their lips. "Oh, Gloria, it's so like you to fall in love with a guy like that," one of them mocked between laughter, while others agreed derisively. "I hope he at least has enough money to buy diapers," added another, provoking more laughter in that circle of colleagues. Despite the malicious words and the tone of contempt, Gloria remained steadfast, determined not to let the cruel comments shake her. In her heart, she knew that the love she shared with Gabriel was true and valuable, regardless of others' opinions. After that episode, Gloria decided to no longer hide Gabriel. He began to pick her up at the hospital, and together, they were no longer afraid of being seen together. Gloria did not hesitate to share photos of them on social media, showing the world the love and happiness they shared. And the exposure of Gloria and Gabriel's relationship would bring more than just acceptance from her colleagues. It would also trigger the revelation about the mysterious past of the young man. One day, a caravan of luxurious cars stopped in front of Gloria's house. Confused, the young woman went out to investigate and was met by an elegant elderly couple. "Is this where Gabriel lives?" asked the lady. Gloria confirmed, explaining that Gabriel was working in a garden and would not return for a few hours. That was when the elegant lady made a surprising revelation. "We are Gabriel's parents. We have been looking for him for almost 3 years. Can we wait until he arrives?" The parents had found their son through someone who saw a post about a missing young man and recognized him as Gabriel. The news took Gloria by surprise, and her heart raced with the sudden discovery. As she invited Gabriel's parents inside, her mind filled with questions about what could have led Gabriel to distance himself from his family. Gloria welcomed Gabriel's parents into her home, listening attentively to the story his mother had to tell. She reported that about 3 years ago, Gabriel and his sister had gone to a party. Normally it was Gabriel who drove, but that night he had drunk too much, and his sister had to take the wheel. On the way back home, a reckless driver made a dangerous maneuver and collided with the car in which Gabriel and his sister were. Gabriel escaped with some superficial injuries, but his sister wasn't so lucky. The impact was on the driver's side, and she did not survive her injuries. That night changed everything for Gabriel. He carried the weight of guilt, convinced that he should have been the one driving that fateful night. This burden of guilt and remorse accompanied him in the following years, distancing him from his family and leading him to a life on the streets, where he tried to escape the painful memories of the past. When Gabriel finally reached home and faced his parents, emotions overflowed. Tears streamed down his face as he and his parents embraced without needing words to express what they felt. Gabriel had changed profoundly during the time he wandered the streets, and now, with the prospect of his son's arrival, he clearly saw that it was time to leave the guilt and remorse behind. When he revealed to his parents that Gloria was his girlfriend and that they were expecting a child together, emotions overflowed. Tears of joy mixed with tears of relief and forgiveness. The family was ready to turn the page and remember Gabriel's sister, not as a source of pain and guilt, but as a happy memory from the past. They were determined to welcome the new life that was about to arrive in an environment free of guilt and resentment. It was time to open their hearts to the new chapter being written before them. If you enjoyed, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon.